Hey guys, welcome back to the Calibrate Tools and DIY channel. On a little late tonight, but hey, I made it. Okay. So anyway, guys, today we're gonna pretty much cover what I usually cover around this time of year, which is how to save energy, how to get your house ready, okay, for the winter time, and it's right here. Okay, it's right upon us. So we're gonna go over some things that I think every homeowner should know about, energy saving tips and saving that money, because that's basically what it comes down to. Not just your comfort, but you want to save some of that money as well. Okay, so we're going to dive right into it. Okay, guys. And if you could type in the chat, what do you think is one of the most important things you should do when it comes to saving money in the wintertime? Okay, what do you think that is? I know I'm asking people that are probably not even in here yet, but it doesn't matter. Type in your comments and suggestions, whether it's after the live or right now. But we're gonna dive right into it. Um, so the biggest thing you want to worry about when it comes to saving money, okay, or cutting down your energy bill, especially during this time of year, is to seal the air leaks that you may have in your home. How do you do that? Well, you just take some caulk, right? You take that caulking gun and you go around and you seal all your windows and doors. Okay, you make sure that the caulking around the windows and doors are in good shape, because a lot of times caulk can deteriorate and you have to recaulk these things. Okay, so you want to do that so the cold air won't get in, and you can also keep the heat in. All right. Weather strip the doors. That's another thing. Okay, this probably costs you maybe $20 to do that. Right, 20 to 50 bucks. Okay, you can do these things yourself. All right. Seal the attic as well. If you have an attic, this is one of the areas that you really need to insulate. All right, and we're gonna get into that in a minute. Because if you have recessed lights, if you have plumbing, a lot of times these things they go through the attic, and this is where a lot of leaks happen. Okay, around those areas. Okay, recessed lights, plumbing, and different things that bypass the attic. Okay, so you definitely want to go up in there and seal whatever you can. All right. The basement, right? The opposite, right? Down below, you have these joists, right? Because it's a basement, and the joists of the basement, right? The basement joists, that's a big area where heat escapes as well. Okay, so you want to go down in your basement and seal the joists around the joists and make sure that those things are taken care of as well. Okay. So a lot of these things, guys, you can do yourself. You don't necessarily have to call a pro or anything like that. You can get down there and do it yourself. Let's see here. Okay, so if you didn't know, most homes don't have enough insulation, right? They're under insulated. Okay, so this is the next major thing you should, aside from sealing everything up, like we just talked about. The next thing you want to tackle is the insulation, right? You want to make sure your attic is insulated. And you may say, okay, what kind of insulation should I get? Well, they have two types, right? They have R38 and R60. Now, the higher the number, the more powerful, for lack of a better word, the insulation is. Okay, so R60 would be used in colder climates, right? R38 is for more moderate climates, right? So if you live up north, all right, northwest, northeast, wherever, you're probably going to be dealing with R60 insulation, right? Versus, if you live in the more moderate climates a little further down, you want R38. Okay, you can do this yourself. It may cost you probably between $500 and $1,500, but you can save about $600 max just doing this, right? In energy, in money, right? So, man. By the way, sealing, all the sealing we talked about, sealing the windows and doors and the weather stripping and the rim joists and the attics as well. You can save about $400 a year, right? Max. Okay. Now here's something that it's a little bit more technical, but you may want to invest in a smart thermostat. Okay. So what it does, it'll just adjust on its own, right? And let's see what it says about the smart thermostats. Okay, it set back 7 to 10 Fahrenheit when sleeping or away, and it saves you about 10% per year on heating and cooling. Okay, so that may cost you some money, but the ROI on a smart thermostat could be about $180 a year. So you see, all this is adding up, just doing these little things to make sure that your house or home is as energy efficient as possible. Okay, HVAC, that's another big area that you need to tackle. You need to change the filters if you haven't already, because the dirty filters, they're always gonna put a strain on the compressor, and you're gonna lose. You're definitely gonna lose out on energy, right? So if you clean your filters, you can save about 15%, right? 15% of energy versus dirty filters, right? You could get a professional tune-up of your HVAC system, which is what I would recommend. You can check out my HVAC videos. Most of them are about portable ACs, but the same principle applies. You need to clean the coils, you need to clean the fins, the vents, and all that stuff. But once again, it's the savings could be about $300 a year, right? And that's another big savings, just doing that, right? Most people don't even think about cleaning their HVAC system themselves, and you can definitely do that to a certain degree, right? Once again, you can call in the pros for that. Okay, what else can you do that you're looking around your home right now and you're saying, damn, what else can I do to save money? Well, what about that water heater, right? Well, you can lower the temperature of your water heater to about 120 Fahrenheit. You can actually put a blanket around your water heater. That's called an insulation blanket, so that'll keep the heat in, or the heat from escaping, especially when it gets colder. You can install low flow shower heads. Okay, so I just did a video on how to replace your shower head. You can let's see here. You can fix your water faucets. If you have a leaky faucet, that's another way to save as well. Okay, on that water bill, right? Light bulbs. All right, what about your lights? Well, LED lights are probably the most efficient lights. They use about 75% less energy than incandescent lights, and they last about 25 times longer. So to me, that's a no-brainer, right? So you may want to invest in those, and you can save up to $100 a year just on for the whole house, right? For just by replacing your light bulbs and putting some LED bulbs in. Okay. Window treatments. What about window treatments? What does it say here? Heavy curtains. Those are good, especially at night in the winter. You want to have those on there. That's a suggestion. Reflective film or shades in the summer. Cellular honeycomb shades. Okay, they trap air, right? You can, by doing some window treatments, that's going to save you about $150 a year. Appliance upgrades. Energy Star refrigerators. Okay, they save about $200 plus. Okay, over the lifetime of the fridge. High efficiency washers saves about $45 a year. And it says induction cooktop are more efficient than electric coils when it comes to your stoves. All right, so that's some appliance upgrades you can do to save money. Okay, here's some less complicated things you can do. Ceiling fan directions. I did a video on how to install your ceiling fan. Go check that out. But I know a lot of people probably don't know that you can change the direction of the spin of your fan. Okay, so you want it to go counterclockwise in the summer. Okay, and then you want it to go clockwise in the winter, and they have a switch where you can do that. Okay, so make sure you do that, right? Unplug any vampire devices, and that just means like laptops or whatever device you have that's plugged up. Even though it's off, it's actually draining energy, right? It's not much, but it's definitely draining energy. So they could drain about 5 to 10% of the energy of your home, even though they're on standby or they're off. Use power strips. Okay, turn the power strips off when they're not being used. And some of the worst things you can have are cable boxes, game consoles, and phone chargers. Okay, so those three things are some of the most potent, I should say, vampire devices that you could have. So you may want to deal with those as well. Unplug those or do whatever you got to do. Okay, so you can save about $200 a year. So you can see, guys, this is all adding up to put more money in your pocket. It says close vents in unused rooms, right? So if you have any like vents on the ceiling, on the wall, close them up. If you're not, because air is going into a room that's not even being used. So, close them up. Close any doors, right, to keep the air from, say, the air condition in the spaces that you want them in, right? You don't want them going into rooms and being wasted because the door's open or the vents are open. You want them to come into rooms that are important, that are being used, okay? Use cold water for laundry. Well, it says 90% of washing machine energy goes to heating water. Okay, it says modern detergents work great in the cold. Well, everybody's not going to do that, right? Because they have, there are different ways of washing. Some like to wash with hot water. It depends on, how dirty something is. It may require warmer water. So, you can use your discretion on that. Let's see what else. All right, here are some other changes you can make to save some money here. It says adjust thermostat habits. Okay. Says in the winter, you have 68 degrees Fahrenheit when home, and then you want to turn it to 62 degrees Fahrenheit when you're not there or when you're sleeping. Well, in the summer, 78 degrees Fahrenheit when you're home, and then turn it to 85 degrees Fahrenheit when you're not there. Okay, says every degree equals 3% savings. How many of us knew that, right? Use appliances efficiently. It says run the dishwasher only when it's full, right? Don't just put 1 or 2 dishes in there and run it. Wait till it's full to wash. Okay, it says wash full loads of laundry, right? You don't want to just have like little small loads or everything and to throw into the washing machine. Make sure the loads are full so you can take advantage as much as you can of the washing machine. Microwave instead of oven for small portions. Well, that depends on if you want to use a microwave at all. I try not to use them, but if you do use them, obviously, you don't want to. If it's a small portion, just throw it in there and heat it up, and you're good. It says don't preheat the oven unless you're baking. All right. It says here's some shower etiquette. It says take shorter showers. Reduce your showers by 2 minutes. Okay, that's $70 a year in savings. I don't know about you, but I like to take long showers. Okay, and sometimes it takes discipline to not turn that thing off. But if you want to save money, you gotta kind of get some discipline there. Hot water is the second biggest energy user after heating and cooling. Okay, so you got the HVAC, heating and cooling, and you got hot water. Those are the biggest things that's gonna drain your wallet there. Okay, so if you really want to invest, okay, you want to throw some money into things for the long term, you may want to upgrade your windows, right? You may want to get some double pane windows or low energy windows, right? It keeps the heat out and keeps the cool, or vice versa, depending on the season. They may cost you about $300 to $1,000 per window, but you could save up to $500 a year, which is, to me, that's not a bad investment, right? Heat pump installation, right? Anybody know what a heat pump is? You can replace your furnace plus your AC with some of these systems, and this can cut your heating to 50%, cut your heating in half, and they have tax credits available for it. So you may want to check out heat pump installation in your city and see if they have any credits, so you can get that in. You can save up to $15,000, right? That's a big long-term saving right there. Solar panels. Yeah, I used to install these things for a short while, and they definitely can cut your electric bill down. Okay, they do have tax credits for them, and they have incentives for them. Okay, I remember when we were doing that, and that's all they talked about to get people to get on board with it. And quite a few people got it. I don't know if it took off like it was supposed to, but it's definitely out there. Okay, so your return on investment for this is it says typically in about 6 to 12 years. Okay, so if you plan on staying in your house longer than that, then it may not be a bad investment. So guys, those are some of the energy saving tips that you can implement starting today, and see where it gets you. We all need to do whatever we can in this economy where everything's more expensive now. Tariffs is making it people losing their jobs. So we need to do what we can, right, in these trying times, to make sure we are good stewards of our finances. Okay, guys. So anyway, that's it for tonight. Let's see here. Hope you guys had a good one, and I'll see you on the next one.